So the big movie this weekend was Sucker Punch by Zack Snyder. And if you're not familiar with who he is, you've probably seen his other stuff like 300 and my personal favorite, Watchmen. And you know, the movie's getting a pretty bad rap. I consider myself a movie snob. I know I am a movie snob. I really dislike most things I see from American filmmakers, and especially the more popular a movie is, probably the worse I think it is. I think the last movie I saw that everybody loved and I despised was Rango. I'm not going to really get into that review right now, but yeah, didn't like it. So I was excited for Sucker Punch because I am a Zack Snyder fan. I think the way he films and all of his, just the art style is gorgeous. So I was excited to see Sucker Punch, but then I started reading all the reviews and listening to all the reviews on Twitter. People hate it. And honestly, I don't know why. I adored that movie. I was completely entertained from beginning to end. I loved it. And just to give you a little warning, there will be some spoilers a little bit later on. I'll let you know when, because, I got some points to make about some things people are saying. And the whole story was basically about imagination and where the mind will take you when you're pushed up against too much darkness and too much pain and sadness. It was a story about Baby Doll, who you saw at the beginning. No, actually, I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler-free or as drastically spoiler-free as possible. So, she gets put into an insane asylum after a bunch of terrible stuff happens to her. Basically, she gets there and her mind snaps and takes her to this alternate reality, kind of dreamt up reality of a burlesque club. And so basically most of the movie is her in this burlesque club, but that doesn't mean it's a different story. It's still the same story. Everything going on in the burlesque club is going on in the insane asylum. It's just tweaked. It's a little bit different. It's how her mind perceives things to overcome and deal with everything that's going on. And then there are these other little dream sequences throughout the movie which were amazing. And those are basically how she just deals with really, really bad shit going down. It's her happy place. It's where her mind is taking her to her happy place. And the psychologist in me, wants to overanalyze the movie a little bit and say that these dream sequences she's going into, or the happy places, are since she can't deal with the hard stuff and she can't deal with all the sadness and the pain. Of course, when in her happy place, she's kicking ass. She's got control of the situation. She's becoming something she's not, and that she wishes she could. But that, of course, is me overanalyzing it. But still, it's all one storyline. It's just different realities of that storyline. I love the dream sequences, the different time periods. You went through, first we saw the samurai stuff, and then we went to like a zombie World War kind of Nazi deal. Then there was like fantasy and a sci-fi. And I loved each of them. They all, were artistically beautiful. I love the art direction, and they were just really, really, really gorgeous. But that's not all the movie was to me. I didn't think it was just gorgeous. I did love the story, obviously. And some other people are critiquing the character development, saying that there wasn't any. But that's not what the movie was about. The movie wasn't about character development. The other girls weren't there to build upon the story, and they weren't there to build upon any of the other characters or the lead character. They really were there for just an emotional attachment. So there was no need for character development. Not every movie has to be every step of what movies are supposed to be. You've got your opening, then you've got your character meet, and then you've got your character direction, and then you've got the ending and the climax and blah, blah, blah. Not every movie has to follow that outline. And all the movies we have coming out, all this crap we have coming out, and so many sequels and so many remakes, come on. Zack Snyder stepped out of it and made something, really original, and I adored it. I thought, it was a great movie, and people that are saying it wasn't, I don't know what they were expecting. I really don't, because it was just a great movie. I thought so. I thought it was a pretty original story. Yes, we've seen the story kind of like that, where, like, The Jacket was another good example, but when you can take a story of somebody in a mental institution and we don't know if what's going on is real or it's just dreamt up, and then still make it your own, That's called creativity. I thought it was excellent. I recommend it to everybody. One other thing I wanted to mention as well is the underlining sexuality. There was never in-your-face sexuality, no ass shots, no boob shots, but it was just this underlining, not even suggested sexuality, just like hinted at. That's very hard to pull off. I thought he did a perfect job of it. The only thing that I would say I think Sucker Punch needed was blood and profanity. So I understand that some movies aren't going to use a lot of blood to almost make a dramatic statement, and when you do see blood, it's a little bit more serious. I get that. And I get that if that's what he was trying to go for with Sucker Punch. So, although I would have liked more blood, I do understand if that's part of the art direction of why there's not a lot of blood in the movie. That's fine. But this movie is really dark, and it goes with a lot of dark, situations. And for there being no profanity, or if there was any, so little that I didn't even notice, for the times and for what these girls were going through, there really should have been some profanity in this movie. I don't understand why there's a PG-13 tag. This movie should have gone full R, in my opinion. I don't know if he was going with PG-13 to try to rope in the teenage girls, because it is like a chick flick or a girl movie. None of the teenage girls are going to go see this movie. Believe me. If it doesn't have Justin Bieber or Twilight in it, teenage girls nowadays are not going to go see this movie. So if that was the market or trying to rope in that market, shame on you. The movie definitely should have been R. It missed a lot of profanity. It did. There were some instances that just needed it. It really did. I know if I was any of those girls, I would have been cussing up a storm. But yeah, overall, I gotta recommend Sucker Punch. I really thought it was great. Great, I was saying great visuals. I loved the story. And, the soundtrack was another thing. I walked out thinking, oh my god, that soundtrack was amazing. It was really good. So yeah, guys, if you're on the fence about seeing this movie, definitely go see it. And if you have already seen it, I'd love to hear your comments down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you like? What did you not like? I'd really like to know. And I'm getting a lot of people asking me if I'm going to cosplay as Baby Doll this year at Comic-Con. I'd say 75% I'm leaning towards yes. I'm not 100% committed yet. We'll see. Just because I think every chick in the world is going to be Baby Doll at Comic-Con this year. So if I do it, I need to be the best one there. So we'll see where my funds are. If I can really afford getting that costume top notch. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that's my review of Sucker Punch. I had to spoil some things, but I tried to keep it as, deep spoiler free as possible. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So thanks for watching.